Okay.
Contact.
Okay, I would like to welcome all our listeners throughout the world to this, the 42nd episode of Dinner with Nan. So we ought to be reviewing 42nd Street tonight. My name is Dan Garris, and we're recording on Sunday, July 26, 2026, from Rowe Avenue in Dayton, Ohio's historic Five Oaks neighborhood. It's been a very pleasant past week, almost early fall-like, but the heat and humidity will be returning Monday to remind us that it is still summer. Is it recording?
Yeah.
You sure?
We're recording. I think the mic, the headphone level there, if you can just turn that up a little. It's a tiny little knob on the bottom left. There you go. Perfect.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. At the table tonight, we have table regulars Sam Braun, Paul Duncan Robinson, Kate Evans, and Eddie's going to be joining us. Nan Whaley has been given an excused absence as she and her bestie, Crystal King, are in Paul's new country of choice, Canada, at the site of the Anne of Green Gable books. Both Nan and Crystal, who was our guest on the episode when we reviewed Casablanca, are major Anne of Green Gable fans. In fact, Nan had her house on Rowe Avenue painted with Green Gables. So that's what we got here tonight at the table. So what's for dinner tonight? Kate, since you made it all.
Okay. Well, in honor of the movie that we're watching, The Apartment, there is a pivotal scene where Jack Lemmon's character makes spaghetti and meatballs, and he strains the spaghetti through the tennis racket, which I did not do. But I made meatballs and sauce and spaghetti, and then I, for a vegetable, grilled up some zucchini because it is abundant right now. And yeah, that's it.
Is that zucchini from your backyard?
No, I didn't grow zucchini this year. But it is farmer's market zucchini. So,
but the herbs on it are
the herbs that I sprinkled in the zucchini and the parsley and the meatballs all came from my garden. So there you go. Good stuff.
And we also have wine and champagne.
Right.
And we almost had a fatality with the champagne today. Sam had taken the cage off, set the bottle on the table, and all of a sudden, I guess we're going to call it the invisible hand of the sommelier. The cork went up, hit the ceiling, and came down.
It happens.
That was incredible. I've never had that happen. Not without even touching it.
Yeah, nothing. Yep. Okay, so as we do, let's talk about what we've done this past week. Sam, you're first.
All right. Well, there isn't a whole lot to tell. Nan is off at Prince Edward Island having a great time doing some Anne of Green Gables literary tourism.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I had a quick visit from my mother. I had a couple really good meals on Friday as she was passing through.
Okay.
Nice.
I played tennis a couple of times, and yeah, all in all, it's a good week.
Eddie?
A bunch of nothing.
Oh.
And didn't do much of anything.
All right.
Well, the one thing Eddie did do was he finally got into the hand doctor.
I was going to say, he's over there eating left-handed,
Yeah,
so.
it took forever in our current medical system to get Eddie to the hand doctor where everybody knew he was going to have to go. So,
Which is why I did a bunch of nothing.
so now he's got 2 braces that he's been wearing, hopefully get his hand better. So,
Yeah.
okay, Paul, you're up.
Pretty quiet week, but I went back to Hannah's Treasure Chest to volunteer. Stayed in the toy department where I worked mostly on puzzles and games, making sure all the pieces were there. But I was there like for 3 days this week, so I'm getting a little worried, Dan, because if we start classifying that as work, I won't be able to talk about Hannah's Treasure Chest anymore. Unfortunately, they're only open 4 days a week, at least for the volunteer side. So,
I'm getting a bad rap on that. I never said you couldn't talk about work.
I don't. You early on, you said.
early on,
you have-
Yeah, we're trying to follow your rules the best we
Yeah.
can. There are some we can't, or that we're choosing not, but we're
Well,
following that one.
henceforth, new rule, you can talk about work.
Okay.
Whoa.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well,
No telling
let me
what
just
could happen.
preemptively say that nobody wants to hear that, probably. So.
Okay, then there we go. And Paul,
yep.
why don't you talk about the puzzle you put together
That's what.
that you sent me
Oh, yeah.
a picture of?
One of the puzzles that was donated, amongst other toys, was a Canadian map. So I think we're all used to seeing, kids' puzzles with, all the 50 states. In fact, I made sure all the pieces for one of those were there. But this one did not have any U.S. states, unless you consider all of Canada a U.S. state. But it had all the provinces and territories of Canada. So
And
yeah,
you're Canadian now, too.
not quite.
Working on it.
Yeah, working on it.
So, Paul, tell us all the different provinces in Canada.
Well, all the pieces were there, so it wasn't much of a learning exercise. We didn't actually assemble the puzzle, but I'll get back to you on that.
See how he's avoiding
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
He can't
nice
do it.
job.
Yeah. Well, Yukon, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and then I think it's Nunavut, formerly Northwest Territories.
Whoa.
So,
Oh, I guess-
Boy, you-
I guess he could do it.
decently, yeah.
If you're nationalist, you say Alaska.
Nice. What else?
You are a true North, strong and
Yeah,
free.
Yeah, he even got formerly the Northwest Territory
Yeah.
I know.
for extra credit.
I know.
Had a board meeting for the Cincinnati Curling Club. Nothing to report there. Had happy hour with a former colleague of mine, Ryan Preston from CareSource, and then me and I went to the Green to see the Odyssey in IMAX format.
man.
We did that yesterday afternoon, and I wouldn't be surprised if we're reviewing that in a little over a year from here when it wins the 2027 Best
Oh, it's got a
Picture.
pretty good shot.
It's got a pretty good shot, Christopher Nolan movie. I think there's been a lot of buzz one way or another about it. Mia's keeping up with it on TikTok and all the comments being made there. And anyway, it's I was glad but I have to admit, if it wasn't for me, I probably would not have gone to see it, in the theater. But I was glad I went, and it's definitely the epic style that we've talked about here. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
So the true
Oh, boy.
the true movie fans are driving to Indianapolis to see it in the
On
IMAX,
film, yeah.
70 millimeter. That's only like 25
Yeah.
places in the country.
Yeah, that's
that
the
have it, and
closest.
The closest one is Indianapolis. I wanted to add one thing to my week. I forgot.
Okay.
Circulated signatures for the block party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Big.
We are. I think
Here
we're
we
I think
are.
it's 42 days
Oh gosh.
away. So we have to get signatures
Start
to
preparing.
close down the street. So I did that and talked to the neighbors this week.
And you got enough signatures?
Well, almost. I mean, if your lazy son can get the last two signatures, then we're
Marty,
done.
not Eddie.
Not
Just
Eddie.
to clarify
Not
for all the listeners,
Not
we're talking
Eddie.
about Marty.
Yeah. So I did the bulk of the work.
All right. Well, Paul, when you say that about the Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, I think Elon Musk's Odyssey
Oh God.
is going to be out in time to compete with him for
Yeah.
because you just have to have it out before the end of the year, and I
Yeah.
think Elon's probably planning on getting it out. So
Yeah, his AI generated trailer did not receive good reviews from what I
Oh, I'm shocked.
read. Yeah, shocking.
and since SpaceX is not an official sponsor of
No.
Dinner with Dan, Kate, your turn.
Let's see. Had much like the previous few weeks here, we've had a lot going on at work. We have been doing some community events, and that's taken up some of my time after my normal work hours. But then yesterday, my sister and I got up early and before the heat started to kick in and took a hike up at Weggers Inn and hit trails there and took the dogs and had a nice hike, got out, and then went and had lunch at the Celtic Festival. So that was fun. Yeah, otherwise that's about it. Just doing the normal stuff, you know.
What'd you do at the Celtic Festival?
Really, we just kind of walked around. We listened to some music, ate some food, had a Guinness, enjoyed being
Oh,
out.
they're selling Guinness now?
They let Bon Bright come in and do a Guinness tent.
Because they used to not be able to have Guinness.
Yeah, they must have struck some sort of a deal because Bon Bright distributor is there with Guinness only.
Guinness
On
on
tap or
okay.
just canned?
No, it's
Oh,
they've got a
okay,
truck.
yeah.
No, they've got a truck, and so they have the regular Guinness, and then they have the non-alcoholic Guinness. But that's all they're allowed to sell. And then Heidelberg has a truck there with like other kinds of beer. So they must have some sort of deal where
Oh, it's a distribution.
yeah, Heidelberg
issue.
doesn't
Yeah.
have anything comparable, so they've let Bon Bright in, is my assumption,
That must
to
be what
sell
happened.
Guinness.
Yeah, because for a long time you could not get a Guinness
Yeah,
at
they-
the
they
Dayton
have like
Irish
a-
Festival. Yeah.
They have like a big tent right in the middle of the festival, and they call it the Guinness Beer Garden. And that's the spot where they sell it. And then the other beer trucks, they have like 3 or 4 different beer trucks at different points in the festival selling other stuff. So it was good.
And you know,
Fun
Guinness
time.
Guinness had a smackdown with PETA and the animal protection people.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, because you know, Guinness uses or did and maybe still does use fish bladders
Oh.
Oh,
Do-
yeah.
For what?
for filtering the beer.
Yeah, something tells me that's not how they do it anymore, but
Well, they
maybe
they
maybe
they
they
were-
do.
Yeah, they were threatened with a big boycott, and this has probably been, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I don't know how it ever worked out.
Oh, wow.
But they were getting bad press for, and it was something they'd done ever since the beginning.
Sure.
And another thing, and I could be fact-checked on this, but my understanding is, even though the Irish claim Guinness,
Mm-hmm.
it was actually first brewed in England.
Oh boy.
Oh
That
God.
could be fighting words.
Now, you know, I don't want to
I
start
don't
anything.
even. Yeah, I
I
don't
I
know.
could start a war.
Yeah, I don't know
But,
why you'd even bring that up. Do you
but-
not value your life?
I think it's true, though. But I'm sure there's some beer snob out there that will either fact-check me or not.
Or
But
confirm,
I
right?
believe that's true. But anyhow, it
I
is,
hope we don't have any Sinn Féin listeners.
yeah.
We're going to be in trouble.
Probably a more convoluted story anyway. Probably like an old Irish recipe that was stolen by some dudes from England. And then
Well, that
brought
could have
back.
been.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That sounds believable.
Well,
That
you know,
sounds believable.
that was kind of something that always,
An indentured Irish person forced to brew their family recipe.
that was something that always drove me crazy about my late wife and her family. You know, they came
Their
here,
dedication?
no, they came here in the late 1800s after the Protestants burned them out of Northern Ireland. They were from Belfast. So they came over here, so they were as Irish as they could be. Yet all of the Platt girls, Monica, Andrea, Mary Grace, Virginia, and Marita, for as Irish as they were, all they wanted to do was read Jane Austen and watch PBS shows about English aristocracy,
Yeah,
which I always just found,
hilarious.
that's weird.
It's funny.
Yeah, but anyhow, okay.
Yeah, Nan will watch anything, no matter how bad it is, if they wear period clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, Louis, I love.
Louis
He's
behave.
no,
Well-
he's doing fine. He's just laying across my feet, and he's like 1,000 degrees. It's
We
like an
used to,
inferno down there.
Thinks you're going to drop the most food.
Nan and Virginia used to sit in the back room and watch Anne of Green Gables together. And every time Matthew was dying,
Oh,
Nan,
Sob City.
Nan would put a blanket over her head because she started crying uncontrollably. And if I saw her do that once, I saw her do it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And Virginia always turned on Pride and Prejudice with Colin Firth
Oh, yeah.
in the swimming scene.
Oh, it's called Comfort Watch.
There
It's
you
a
go.
Comfort Watch.
Okay.
Oh,
What'd you do, Dan?
what
On
was
Monday,
your week?
my son Marty helped me get out to my monthly luncheon of retired judges at the MCL cafeteria, where at 73 I am the youngest retired judge.
That's awesome.
Plus, I'm one of the youngest people in the MCL cafeteria at the time. I've become a two-man move, so Eddie's got me out there, Frank's got me out there, and Marty's got me out there. So I had a great time with that, and I'll give a special shout-out to one of my retired judges, although he's still working for free, U.S. Magistrate Mike Mers. He's a former neighbor of mine when I lived in Five Oaks, or in Dayton View. And he's in one of Polly's book clubs.
Yes.
And I talked to him about that weird book you guys read. And I said, you picked that, didn't you? And he said, God, no.
No.
But anyhow, he's going to be our table guest when we review A Man for All Seasons.
Oh, great.
He's quite the Catholic scholar.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to when he's here. Tuesday for me was a run to the bank, post office, and Walgreens. And it was a thank you to everybody who helped get the ADA passed all those years ago, because drive-throughs really make it a lot easier for somebody like me to run around and get those errands done. Then let's see. Then on Wednesday, my son Marty once again was my wheelman to help me in and out of the dentist office. I got 2 new crowns
Oh, nice.
on my 2 broken teeth that I mentioned last week. And then he found 2 small cavities, so we filled those. And then I also had a cleaning.
That's a long day at the dentist.
Yep. Big shout out to my dentist, Dr. Dave Strebel, and his wonderful staff. They are the best. As a young attorney, I did collection work for Dave and his dad. So we've known each other for well over 40 years. All my kids have gone there and still go there. So I want to thank Dr. Dave Strebel and his staff for getting me in and getting me out. And I've got new chompers now, so I should be good for a while. Then Wednesday night was also our weekly dinner with the grandkids, which is always a wild rumpus. Big news was that I watched 1-year-old Freddie take about 8 steps. So that boy's going to be running around here real
Awesome.
quick. And Freddie's favorite uncle is Uncle Eddie. He would rather hang with Uncle Eddie than with his mother. And it's pretty cute to see Freddie and Eddie together. The other thing, I think on Wednesday and Thursday, a former neighbor, Rick Zippernick, who has a landscaping business.
I noticed.
He got me straightened up last year, so I was starting to look like a jungle again. So I called Rich up, and he and his crew came out on Wednesday and Thursday, and they took care of Eddie's property.
The dead boxwoods are gone.
The dead boxwoods are gone.
It looks
It
good.
was semi-live. What was going on
What did he?
On both of them?
there?
Just the one. The one was really brown, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
moth got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyhow, and we got it all mulched. He did my backyard too.
Nice.
So I'm really happy that we're looking good for the rest of the summer. So shout out to Rick Zippernick and his landscaping company. I highly recommend him for anybody that needs that kind of work done. Then Thursday was cleaning lady. So Nicole, who's been our cleaning lady for 20, 25 years, was over. We always have a good chit chat. Then Friday and Saturday were legacy days. And the other thing I didn't forget to mention was on Monday, Lily texted me that her and her crew, her husband Jake and her kids Junie and Shaq, were on their way driving from Portland to Seattle to see the Reds play the Mariners.
Oh, nice.
So even though there was a 3-hour difference, when I was upstairs laying in bed, I turned the game on, and I started texting Lily back and forth.
Nice.
Made it through the whole game to see if the crowd they'd be seen in the crowd, which from time to time.
You never know. Yeah.
But there was a grand slam, but it was by the Mariners.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was not.
Reds got beat 8-0 that
ours.
night.
It was rough.
So that's how it goes at the old ball game. That's for sure. So,
Especially
and then
if you're a Reds fan.
huh?
Especially if you're a Reds fan
Especially if
these
you're a
days.
Reds fan, yeah.
That's how it goes. It's tough.
And so then Friday and Saturday.
I know.
Friday and Saturday were legacy days, which I have my Friday group and I got my Saturday group, so I really enjoyed it. And before we review tonight's movie, I have received a number of texts about Ben-Hur.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. My sister-in-law Lois remembered how when she was 11, and in either the 5th or 6th grade, how her school took all the 5th to 8th graders to see the movie.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Then non-listener but friend of the podcast, John Harrison, recalled that he also saw Ben-Hur on a school outing. Lois was from Indiana and John was from Paris, Texas. So Ben-Hur was indeed a nationwide event. I mean, it's kind of hard for people to understand that now because even if it was school time, no school's going to be taking 3 or 4 classes
Oh,
to
no.
see the Odyssey.
That's pretty much an all-day
Well,
affair.
I will
for-
say,
yeah.
I will say, I could see the Odyssey more than a movie like Ben-Hur because it says a lot about the time too. Because it's a very religious movie,
Well, it's called
right?
Ben-Hur, the story of the
But
Christ.
I'm just saying, it's a very religious movie. It says a lot about
Well, true. But it also,
a time,
Yeah.
that
yeah, true that. True
but,
that.
when was Purr in school banned by the Supreme Court?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
There
know.
used to be a lot
Yeah.
more.
Well, and Van Wert, that Supreme Court decision never arrived
Yeah.
Never made
There
it.
you go.
Stuck in the
Yeah,
mail.
that's right.
because
Sometimes that happens.
in elementary school, every class started with a
There you
Bible
go.
reading.
We had to say the pledge. We didn't pray.
Well, we said the pledge, and we also had a Bible
little bit,
reading.
Just a little bit.
Well, if you cast the Romans as communists back then that would have been,
Well, yeah,
Good.
sure.
Yeah,
It would've been
they
like-
missed an opportunity to do that. didn't
Yeah.
they?
Well, but they did have the Romans wearing red, so communists were
True.
red.
True.
Then also
That's great.
my sister-in-law Mary Grace Platt Ryan related to me that her parents, Bill and Rita Platt, took her and her identical twin sister Virginia Maud, my late wife, to see Ben-Hur when they were probably 7 years old. And time-wise, that makes sense. They were born in 52. The movie came out in 59. During the chariot race, Virginia apparently got dizzy and threw up.
Whoa.
And Rita had to take her home, but got back in time to see the ending of the movie. Now that is a story.
That tracks.
I could see that.
That is a story about my beloved wife that I never had heard before.
Wow. Okay.
So that I just think I wish I'd known that because I would have played Ben-Hur to see if she threw up again on the chariot race.
Test that balance.
Okay, so we got all that out of the way. So I want you guys that are listeners out there to always give us your feedback.
Yes.
You can text anybody and we'll try to get it on. So tonight we are going to review 1960's Best Picture, The Apartment. Okay, The Apartment won 5 Oscars that year, 1960. They got it for Best Picture, and they were against The Alamo, Elmer Gantry, Sons and Lovers, and The Sundowners. They also got it for directing, Billy Wilder, and they got it writing, story, and screenplay written directly for the screen, and that was by Billy Wilder and I.A.L. Diamond, which, interestingly enough, was one of the rare times that one individual has won 3 Oscars at the same Oscar ceremony. So, because Billy Wilder produced The Apartment, he got the Oscar He got it for directing, and then he also got it for writing. The other two Oscars they got was for art direction, set direction, and that's when they were still doing a difference between black and white and color, and they got it for film editing. One of the feedbacks we've been getting, that I've been getting from our dear listeners, is what other kind of movies were out there that year that had been considered, not necessarily that were nominated for Best Picture, but for other things. So I'm going to try to start including that. And other movies that were out in '59 that were considered for the 60 Academies were Spartacus.
Oh gosh.
Now, that's definitely an epic.
Yeah.
Psycho, Inherit the Wind, Butterfield 8, Sunrise at Campobello, Exodus, Pepe,
Whoa,
which
Exodus.
was Caniflas from Around the World in 80 Days. That was the movie they thought that they could make, and it did not turn out well. And Never on Sunday. Okay, so The Apartment. I'm going to read this.
Yeah, I can't believe
Okay.
Spartacus didn't get a nomination.
Well,
I know, right?
it didn't for Best Picture, but it got it for other things. Okay, so the Robert Osborne, who did the 80-year history of the Oscars that we cite all the time, one of his things was swinging like a pendulum between farce and near tragic drama. So that's kind of a lead into the movie. The back of the DVD box reads, C.C. Bud Baxter, Jack Lemmon, knows the way to success in business. It's through the door of his apartment. By providing a perfect hideaway for philandering bosses, the ambitious young employee reaps a series of undeserved promotions. But when Bud lends the key to the big boss, J.D. Sheldrake, played by Fred McMurray, he not only advances his career, but his own love life as well. For Sheldrake's mistress is the lovely Fran Kubelik, played by Shirley MacLaine, elevator girl and angel of Bud's dreams. Convinced that he is the only man for Fran, Bud must make the most important executive decision of his career: lose the girl or his job. So, with that,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it over. Sam, you want to go first?
Sure. So my first thought watching it is, I'm a little bit surprised they let this movie get made in
know, right?
1959, because this is pretty controversial, pretty scandalous. All these men running around on their wives, all the, all the, they don't show anything, but the implication of all this sex going on.
Not to mention the suicide attempt.
Yeah, you had a suicide attempt with pills. I mean,
Well,
it had to be a little risque for the moment.
just so you know, like other movies before, Ben-Hur, which I watched twice.
Yes.
I also watched The Apartment twice, once without commentary and then once with commentary. And Sam, specifically to your point, when they were writing it, Wilder thought, this is never going to be a movie. This is going to have to go to Broadway.
Right.
Because it'll never get by the code. And so they were all very surprised that it got by the code. But the code had started to crumble by then.
Yeah.
A lot because of how TV was taking over. So anyhow, continue on, Sam.
So there's obvious. The whole thing is a Me Too nightmare,
Whoa.
of course, and
Yeah.
I'm sure that is what my wife would go off on if she were here, and I'm sure we can spend plenty of time on that. I'm sure
Yeah.
Kate has
Yeah.
things to
Oh,
say.
yeah.
But yeah, it is Me Too all the way through, with powerful men trading jobs and promotions for sex with women under them, firing them if they don't do what they want.
Yeah.
Total impunity,
Yes.
which I think is probably what was the norm at this time. It's also very Mad Men.
Very Mad Men.
Very Mad Men. Just both the fucking around. And, write it down.
I've
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Mental
I've got it in my
tally.
Both But both on that and like the drinking at work, like the
Oh, yeah.
wild
Oh, yeah.
Christmas party with people
Oh my-
like
wasn't that
making out
insane?
everywhere. And it's maybe that's how it was. Probably was.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about the movie is it's passing no judgment on any of this.
That's true.
Good point.
Like
yeah.
they're not passing judgment
No.
on the men or their activities or what they're
That's
cheating
right.
on their wives. And I said impunity, but they don't want their wives to find out. Otherwise, there's no impunity at work. Mm-hmm. Like that's their only worry. Like they don't care. Like they're not going to get in trouble at work.
Right. They're
for doing any
openly.
of this.
But there's no, to your point, there's no character that's contradicting them or showing.
Right.
No, they're not
Well-
asking whether or not any of that is right. They're almost acting like, well, it's kind of accepted.
Mm-hmm.
Like these guys in their 50s are married and they want to have this young secretary on the side, and that's fine.
Right.
The real morality play is with whether or not Jack Lemmon's character is going to put how far he will go to farther his career
Right.
versus his dignity, and then eventually versus the woman his desire for the woman he's falling in love with, and it finally reaches a breaking point. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I thought the questions were interesting, and of course, a lot of people could just in this moment can watch it from a Me Too lens and say, well, this is awful, and dismiss it. But I think you'd be missing a good movie with some good questions that it's asking if you did that. So.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Paul?
Overall, I liked the movie. I was really trying to, for some reason, I was like really viewing this movie as like pros and cons about why I may not like it. I don't normally watch a movie that way because I really like the first 30 minutes because they really set the scene for it being 1960, both for a New York perspective and kind of like a modern like white collar workplace. So you start off with like that airplane view of New York City, which I thought was pretty cool. And then you get a glimpse of what Jack Lemmon's or Baxter's, buddy boys.
The
like,
desk
work like.
farm.
Oh, the desk farm.
It's
is
amazing.
incredible.
I love that shot.
Yeah, to see like the rows and rows of desks, and more than once they mentioned like there's 32,000 whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Employees.
The
in-
elevator.
The elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their actual work hours are dependent or regulated because they need to like let the floors go in shifts basically because otherwise you overwhelm the elevators. We see a scene where he goes home and he cooks a TV dinner, which definitely would have been a thing. So I really like those first 30 minutes where we're getting a sense of New York, at least from his perspective, and in the time period. The reason why I started to like maybe think twice about the movie, although I came around, was I thought the plot might have had too many plot, A plots, B plots, C plots. When Shirley MacLaine's character commits suicide for some reason, tries to. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah, tries to. And then Baxter, Jack Lemmon's character says, "Oh, I tried to once also," and I was like trying to figure out like what was the point of him also saying that? Is it to normalize those feelings? Although it was in Cincinnati, and he mentioned Eden Park, so I did appreciate the somewhat local, place references. But on the whole, I really liked it. I think the actors did a really good job with the characters they had. Whether you like the characters or not, I think the actors did a really good job. I think at the core it was really about Jack Lemmon's character and Shirley MacLaine's character being lonely. Yeah. And I think in that regard, it has shades of Marty,
Yes.
That we watched.
Agreed.
With also also New York.
They're like more attractive, more successful versions.
Yeah.
Of the people in Marty.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And even this movie is like 6 years after Marty. I mean, it's still showing New York.
Marty was 55.
Yeah, so it's roughly the same time period. Yeah. But like Sam said, like a slightly different viewpoint of the socioeconomic, class. And I just thought that all the actors did a really good job. I mean, even like the four guys that are using the apartment, like they're not. I mean, there's no depth to those characters, but I think the way they were acted was like really good. The neighbor, the doctor, Dr. Dreyfus. Oh my gosh, he was a great.
He was
character.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think he won, or he was nominated at least for Best Supporting Actor, and I think he
Yeah.
might have won.
I think he lost. As
Did he
well.
lose? Okay.
And I think the attention to detail. I did look it up, and the protocols for reviving somebody after taking sleeping pills was pretty much at the time was pretty much what we saw on the screen. The only and so there was definitely I kind of like that, right? I mean, we're watching a movie without the benefit of some of the CGI and all the
he was
fancy stuff.
he was nominated,
But he didn't win.
but he
Okay.
lost it to Peter Ustinov for Spartacus.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Well, and Paul, to that, I'll just interrupt you real briefly
Please.
and say Wilder had a real medical doctor on scene for the filming of that because he wanted it exactly as a medical doctor would do it. And so they were really slapping Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Yeah,
Yikes.
and there were many takes on that. Yeah, and about how they break the smelling
No
salts
kidding.
and everything.
Yeah.
So he did have a medical doctor there, and that is exactly how they would have handled it in 1959, 1960.
And I also, I mean, not that the other movies we've watched are like poor, but like necessarily, but it is an original screenplay, and it's only the 5th movie that we've watched that has an original screenplay, not based on prior work. And so, in a way, I kind of give it props for that, right? Because it's it has to create the story and make it flow and film it well. So overall, I can give it a thumbs up.
Nice.
Kate Evans.
Okay, so I overall I always have really loved this movie. I took an acting class in college just for kicks.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like a senior year, like, just take a
Get the credit for
random,
graduation.
just take a fun class. I took this acting class with 2 of my really good friends, and the semester was broken up into like a midterm and a final, right? And you had to prepare scenes each week. And we had to do all these different exercises, but the midterm was a monologue. And my monologue was from this movie.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I did the monologue when she is at the apartment after she has attempted suicide. She's, they're laying there in bed and they're playing gin rummy.
Yeah.
And she starts in talking about her luck.
Yeah.
So I did that as a monologue for my midterm in acting.
Wow.
I got an A.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
You go, girl.
But yeah, so I've always really enjoyed this movie. And I think, Sam talked about the Me Too aspects of it, which are, clearly there are problematic relationships throughout this movie. And, some women with a lack of agency and there's all that. But I think the performances, the actors, and the way that they inhabit these characters, there's a charm to it, and they do such a good job, I think, walking on, this side of that line of being like creepy. Even Fred McMurray as the boss, Sheldrake, it's like it could go even further south, but there's like everybody I think handles it the story and their characters really well, and it kind of, I think you said, Dan, what it was walking a line between a farce and a
drama.
tragedy, right?
Yeah.
And it's so true, and I think it's so true, and it walks that line so perfectly. I absolutely understand why something like this would win Best Picture, because I think it just really split the difference between those two things really well. It's a serious thing. I think, like Paul, what you said about echoing Marty, I absolutely thought about Marty. These are 2 lonely people, and they're more attractive and may have more romantic options than Marty, but it's like they're experiencing the same thing where they are 2 little people from somewhere else in New York City at a time when things are exploding there, right? And it's like trying to find their place there and trying to figure out who they're going to like live their lives with. It's I think a really good depiction. And I thought too, you know, we brought up Mad Men, there's shades of that, you know, it's an interesting study, I think, of something that feels real. It could have been real, and it's a fiction, right? It's a story that they came up with specifically for this movie, but it felt real and grounded. And the actors, specifically Jack Lemmon and Shirley MacLaine, were very charming in the face of some heavy subject matter.
Yeah, and it's like setting Jack Lemmon up for a career of like playing the nice guy or the straight man.
Well, think about, so I've thought about this. He does so well, but he's coming right off the heels. So he had just worked with Billy Wilder like the year before on Some Like It Hot, where he was like this. He was amazing and was so off the wall, big, loud character. You know, he pops up in that blonde wig after they decide his name's supposed to be like Geraldine, and he's like, I'm Daphne, you know, and like just like steals like every scene in Some Like It Hot, playing this like completely different character. And you know, it's like, yeah, you definitely, it's the star was born, right? It's like such a good, solid actor who,
Even though he had already got an Oscar.
even though he'd already
as
gotten an
Ensign
Oscar.
Pulver in,
That's right, and Mr. Roberts.
And Mr. Roberts,
And when he was like, I mean, it wasn't that many years before, but he looks like such a baby in that movie compared to these few years later. But just such a stellar career. Like, can watch him in anything and enjoy his work, you know.
And he and McLean were nominated for acting, but neither one won.
Well, they were up against he was up against Burt Lancaster.
Friend of the pod.
Friend, ghostly friend of the pod. We love you, Burt, and your abs and
was
your
really
arms
good in Elmer
and
Gantry.
shoulders. Yeah, he was pretty amazing in that movie, and you can absolutely see why he would win the Oscar. But it's too bad. You hate when you see like such good performances going up against each other, because someone who did a tremendous job is going to lose out, you know.
At the risk of stretching the loneliness theme too far, I thought Jack Lemmon's character Baxter was trying to like fit in or be a nice guy with the executives for loaning his apartment. When you read recaps, it says because he was trying to get ahead.
It doesn't ring as true.
It doesn't ring as true.
I know.
I mean, we know that's what happened.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a sense for a second that Jack Lemmon's character was
only motivated by that.
Only motivated.
Yeah.
I don't want to use the word devious. There's probably a lighter word than devious, but like conniving enough to do that. I did not get that sense.
And that, I think, is a testament to the charm of Jack Lemmon, right? And just the way he kind of played the character. Because I thought the same thing.
And again, setting the stage for it being 1959, filming 60. Him having like flip back in the calendar and like call on the phone. I mean, that was comedic effect, like calling everybody back. The other thing that I appreciated,
that was a great scene.
Yeah, the other thing I appreciated, like from having worked recently for an insurance company, was when they say that the actuary.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, when the actuary, there was a guy in actuary who was calculating the odds and like using it to do the football pool. That I completely believe, except for the fact. Hopefully I don't annoy anybody here or step on toes, but the typical actuary, at least where I work, was not going to be extroverted enough to go out and like
to make book.
But they would be smart enough to run a book.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That was great. That was like again a little almost an Easter egg in a way for me. Yeah.
Okay, let me throw some stuff out there. For those of you who don't know Billy Wilder, he was born in Austria, ended up in Berlin and in the movies there. When Hitler took over Germany, he said, time to get out, moved to Paris, and then like a year later, he got to America. He was here on a 6-month visa, so they threw him out, and he had to go to Mexico. And he applied to be able to come back at the consulate in Mexico. And they asked him, what are you going to do in America? And he said, make movies. And the consul head of the consul looked at him and said, "Well, make good ones," and stamped him to come back.
Thank
So I
goodness.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Trump.
Oh,
I did make a political commentary
Wow.
there.
Whoa.
So anyhow, and he went on to be one of America's most beloved directors.
Dan, what you'd say?
I mean, he won 3
Yeah.
Oscars for directing. And,
Oh yeah.
So then he got the idea for this based on a Noel Coward play called The Brief Encounter,
Oh,
and it was about
that was made into a movie. Yeah.
It was about an affair.
Yeah.
But Wilder wasn't interested in the story of the people that were having the affair. He was more interested in why the person let them use his apartment.
Amazing.
And so that's where it came out. And then plus, shortly after that, there was a real Hollywood scandal that resulted in the death of one of the people that was having the affair.
Oh,
So that
gosh.
kind of all brought it together, and that's when he and Diamond sat down and started coming through it. I thought one of the interesting things was the scene where it first starts, where you see the big thing. Billy Wilder referred to that, and he told everybody on the crew, "This is our chariot race."
Amazing. 1 year later.
1 year
Yeah.
later, this is our chariot race.
Yeah.
And it wasn't done with smoke and mirrors,
Right.
but it was done pretty cleverly. The Hollywood rumor has always been it was midgets and dwarfs. It wasn't. It was kids.
Is that right?
In suits. As the further you go back, they started having little kids.
And smaller desks.
Small,
And
yeah,
smaller
that
desks,
Smaller
yeah.
perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was I thought that was very,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah.
But I will say this, I did see one of the photographs of a place where my late father-in-law, Bill Platt, worked in Chicago. I think he worked for Motorola up there. Mm-hmm. And the picture of where he worked was very,
Looked like that.
very
Yeah.
reminiscent of this cavernous,
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
desk after desk after desk
Yeah.
after desk.
Wow.
Now, wasn't that long, but
No.
it was
No, this
pretty
wasn't a
big.
dystopian shot. This was
Yeah.
like,
One of my great grandfathers worked for Dayton Power and Light as an accountant back in the day, and it's like that kind of space that I envision him. Just
Yeah.
a sea of desks. It's pre-cubicle, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Pre-cube farm.
I mean, honestly, like in the 90s, I had an occasion to go, when I was living in Washington, D.C. and working, I had an occasion to go visit the General Services Administration, GSA, and on the floor that we were on, honestly, like...
Was it like that?
could've been
Seriously?
Like, this. Without-
yeah.
like you said, without the depth.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like rows of desks. It wasn't
Oh, my
cubes,
God.
Gun, battleship grade desks,
Yeah.
typical government
Yeah.
issues, like, with the smell of burnt popcorn at 10 a.m. in the morning. That's a depressing...
That's an office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a...
He elected to do it in black and white because he thought it would bring more reality to the film, and I think
Yeah.
that was a good thing.
It's hard to imagine it not being black and
Yeah.
white.
I know.
And he had just worked with Lemon on Some Like It Hot, so he did acknowledge Wilder. And I watched the movie with a film historian, a member of the American Film Institute, but then I also watched 2 little segments, one on the movie and then one on Jack Lemmon. And Wilder did say he wrote the script for Jack Lemmon.
It makes total
He
sense.
wanted nobody else to do it, and I'm trying to make him. And although I grew up with Jack Lemmon,
Yeah.
I think, excuse me, in my generation, the closest actor that I could put to him would be Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
Oh.
because Hanks can do comedy,
Can do it.
He-
Handsome enough.
handsome
Yeah.
enough,
Yeah.
and he's kind of like
Versatile.
an everyman
Good point,
guy. He can
Yeah.
do comedy. He can do serious. I mean, Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
And Jack Lemmon could do all that. I mean, Days of Wine and Roses.
Yeah.
When he
that movie.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to watch that movie, do it. It is
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
And when he wrote for Fran, they wanted somebody who was sexy, funny, and sad. And that's how they came up with Shirley MacLaine. And she was only 25 when
Yeah,
she filmed
she was
that
still
movie.
very young.
She was 25. Now, originally, it was supposed to be Paul Douglas
Yeah.
to be
Sheldrake.
Sheldrake.
Yeah.
But he died. He had already signed the contract, but he died before they. So his next pick was Fred McMurray, and McMurray said, "I'm working for Disney now.
Yeah, like
There-
I can't
there
be
is-
a
I
philandering
am-
boss.
I am
Yeah.
clean.
The
Yeah.
mouse says no.
I am clean Gene, and he's doing
Yeah,
My Three
My Three
Sons. and
Sons,
I'm
yeah.
working for Disney now, and somehow Wilder got it
But
done.
I'll tell you what.
And he was Fred
Excellent.
McMurray's excellent in it.
I
Well,
think
and
so.
Fred McMurray, I mean, he does have such a clean Gene image.
Yeah.
But man, his best performances, I would argue, except for he's very charming and sweet in my favorite Christmas movie. If those of you who longtime listeners will recall, it's called Remember the Night, and he's cute and adorable and sweet. But Double Indemnity with
Oh, yeah.
Barbara Stanwyck shows him playing a bad dude, and he does it really well.
And he also plays a creep in the Caine Mutiny.
He plays a creep in the Caine Mutiny.
yeah, he really
you're
does.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous actor. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I was familiar with him because I religiously watched My Three Sons when
Mm-hmm.
I was growing up. And to see this version of him, because he is
Yeah.
such a worm in this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they started the filming with just 29 written pages of script because Wilder said, and the other guy that was his co-writer on it, we want to see how the actors are meshing, which I thought was an interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty short shooting. They started in New York City in November. That scene where he's out on the park,
So, yeah.
that was almost zero when they filmed it.
Oh, wow.
And Lemon actually got sick filming it. So they filmed some scenes outside in New York for just 4 days, and they said, "Oh, hell no, we're going to Hollywood." So then they filmed the rest of it in Hollywood. So they had to build the outside of the apartment that Lemon on a back lot in Hollywood
Gotcha.
because it was too cold to finish it in New York City. I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, let me see some of the other things. Chariot race. One of the Jack Lemmon's son, I forget his name, was one of the guys on these special, and he said his dad always said right before every day that he would begin shooting, he would go, "Magic time," and I thought that was interesting. Magic time. Yeah. Okay, gigantic city with tiny people. That was certainly the beginning of it. Then and Wilder hated TV. He hated TV. So that opening scene where he comes in, makes the
Which-
TV dinner,
Which is so amazing to think.
and he's going to watch Grand Hotel.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's so excited.
Yeah.
And they keep cutting to
Commercial.
And what's crazy is they call it Grand Hotel Classic, which is true because it's 1932 Oscar
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah.
And it's,
That's classic.
1959.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
good, though.
And so, excuse me, they go to commercial. Then he changes to a station. It's a Cowboys.
Yeah.
Then he goes to another station, and it's a Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes to another station. It's a Cowboy. And then he comes back to watch Grand Hotel, and they go to another commercial.
So perfect.
Yeah, I thought
What's,
that was.
what's interesting is a lot of these secondary characters, though, did a lot of TV work at the time.
Oh,
And
they did. Oh,
but
absolutely.
Obviously, he still
Oh, yeah.
hired them.
Well,
Yeah.
can we talk about that for a second? Because two of the four bosses, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was the uncle that's on My Favorite Martian, right? Who's the Martian?
Ray Watson.
Ray Walston, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Walston,
one of the bosses that
Yeah.
uses Buddy Boy's apartment. And then there's Darren's boss,
From Bewitched.
yeah, from Mr. Tate, Larry Tate.
Yeah, from Bewitched.
Bewitched.
Yeah.
I know this because
Yeah.
of Nick at Night. Thank you, Lost Childhood.
Now,
Cable.
when you
Basic cable, Nick at Night. Thank you very much.
and another thing, when you listen to these commentaries, it's really interesting to see all the Easter eggs
Oh,
that
yeah.
are planted in there. That if
Yeah.
you just watch it, yeah. Well, when he finally turns the TV off, he goes down to just a little white dot.
Yeah.
And that is, Baxter, you're just a little white dot in a big black screen, And now you also get some of the things that were pulled out of the movie that they still had elements of it left. When he gets in bed the first time, after
Yeah.
he's going to bed, he pulls out a Playboy magazine, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
opens the
Okay.
centerfold.
Yeah.
Okay, looks at it, then he turns to another page, and the other page is about how all the sporty young executives are now wearing bowlers.
Bowlers. Yeah. Oh,
And
that's so funny. Yeah.
They talked about that, and they decided, nah, let's take that out because that makes Jack
Okay.
Lemmon look like he's a womanizer, you know.
Oh.
But he does
That's
put a
funny.
magazine to the side. That was
Yeah.
actually they kept putting the magazine to the side. So
Interesting.
then further on in the movie,
Would have flagged that one.
I know.
yeah. Then further on in the movie, he's wearing the
He's
bowler.
wearing the bowler,
So
yeah.
that,
Oh, funny.
that's where it comes. And also, before he goes to bed, he takes a sleeping pill.
He does.
Yeah.
You see the bottle.
Yeah, you see the bottle. So,
Yeah.
so there's all those little things that come out. And, that's kind of when I was growing up. So one of the things I did love is when he does the person-to-person call.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. Okay, then let's see. And the 2 + 2 equals scene. Apparently Wilder really liked to do that. He'd go 2 + 2, then the audience can figure out it makes 4.
Yeah.
And even though one of the characters ain't getting it, like when he's giving him the tickets to go to the play for the
Right.
key,
Yeah.
it's like, this
Duh.
is 2 + 2.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
audience figures that out.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, in the original script that they wrote, it was going to be tickets for South Pacific, but before they finally got to that scene, Wilder had gone and seen South Pacific and hated it, and said, nope, it's going to be Sound of Music.
That's
Music
awesome.
Man.
Music Man, yeah, Music Man. And so that scene was actually filmed at 11 o'clock at night in front of the theater where it was actually playing in New York City.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was an 11 o'clock at night curtain call or call to be there to
Yeah.
film that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, that whole scene where Sheldrake calls him up to the office and he's like, "It's my big chance."
Yeah.
I thought that was so well done. The way
Yeah.
you start you watching this interaction, you think like, "Oh, Sheldrake is gonna bust." He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna get busted for this. And then the way that, the 2 + 2 that you see
yeah.
happen, the way the tables turn so quickly,
Yeah.
and poor Baxter doesn't quite see
Doesn't
it.
get it. Another one
Really
of
well done, I thought.
the favorite quotes I had of Wilder that I got off these specials was Wilder was quoted as saying, "I make movies, not cinema." And I thought that was, yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Not very pretentious about it.
yeah, not very pretentious. I make movies, not cinema. Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes there's cinema and sometimes there's movies.
Yeah.
Spielberg makes movies. Every once in a while he makes cinema, but
Right.
yeah. Okay, so we're moving on. Some of the text, some of the lines that I liked that Fran gave, and I thought Shirley MacLaine was just stunning in this thing.
Yeah.
I could be so stupid when you're in love with a married man, you should never wear mascara. I thought that was a great line. Yeah.
Good one.
And then I thought some of the most poignant scene of the whole thing was on Christmas Eve
Yeah.
when they're in the apartment, and she gives him a wrapped present,
Yep.
and then he hands her $100 bill,
Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
Such a terrible,
like
terrible
a,
thing.
like a prostitute.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then he leaves with real wrap packages for his family.
Yep.
And I thought, wow,
Yeah.
what an absolute creep you
Well, and the
are.
whole time, I got to get my train to White Plains, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then she had pointed this out talking to him, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to kiss her, and she said, no, lipstick.
Yeah.
And he stops,
Yeah.
What, ugh. Yeah.
Then the Christmas party, when he's at the Christmas party, he meets up
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
what
woman
a party.
that's shooting the straws at him.
The bar.
I love that
Oh, God.
about her.
I
How do you
know.
how do you
Yeah.
feel about Castro?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's so
my
good.
husband's a jockey.
Yeah, it's
I wrote
so
it down. He's
hilarious.
5'2" and 99 pounds, and he's in prison in Havana.
But another good example set in
So
the time
good.
period, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
And also when they're at like whatever Fred McMurray's character is called, and like the kid, the son's like
Sheldrake.
Sheldrake. When the sons are playing with like
Oh,
an
yeah.
astronaut in a
Yeah.
rocket. I
Yeah.
mean, that was like right
Yeah.
there in the time period because the Mercury 7 had been announced
Well,
by then.
and the boy says, well, if we put 2 flies in it, they'll procreate.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he got upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's this guy that's carrying on this affair. Yeah. So I really loved that bar scene they
Oh,
get
yeah.
back there. Okay.
It was funny.
Oh, and then when they walk around, we've already talked about that. But then they play gin rummy, and apparently Shirley MacLaine had learned how to play gin rummy from the Rat Pack. She had been hanging around with the Rat Pack, and apparently the Rat
So
Pack.
she probably also knew how to cheat.
The Rat Pack was something, man.
Cheat at cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was
Yeah.
hanging around with them.
She was hanging around. That's how she learned it. Yep. And then the scene where the brother-in-law comes in.
Yeah, amazing.
That was actually filmed on the day after Christmas,
Oh wow.
and it's
Okay.
kind of like, who makes people come in the day after
Yeah, no-
Christmas?
Yeah.
And it was
Well, where I work does, so you
Yeah.
know,
There you
unless
go.
it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's not a holiday for most people.
But then,
Podcast land.
When he finally, the doctor says, "Why don't you be a mensch?" And he finally realizes what that means, and he has his redemption, and she has her redemption on New Year's
New
Eve,
Year's.
and but he gets it by handing him the key to the executive washroom,
Yeah.
which is earlier in the
Yeah.
thing where the guy put the wrong key under
Yeah.
the mat. So he's finally got that, and then he gives that back. And then one of the things they say about Wilder movies is at the end he builds, and then bam, he's done.
Yeah.
And that's how this goes.
Yeah, that's
because
kind of true.
this
Yeah.
da 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 da, and then she says, "Shut up and deal."
Shut up and deal.
I'm falling in love. I'm falling in love with you. Shut up and deal.
Well, some like it hot, right?
Yeah.
They're being chased out to the yachts.
Yeah.
They hop in the boat,
Yeah.
and he says, "I can't marry you." Oh, why not? Because I'm a man. And he says, "Nobody's perfect," and it's over.
And it's over. Yeah. Yep. So anyhow, I thought the movie, especially after watching it twice, and then and I really encourage people to listen to the commentaries and stuff like that, because you get so much more about the technology of it, what was going on, how they were thinking, why this shot was this way, why this was that way. And throughout that movie, there are so many things that are there, and then all of a sudden they're here. I just thought it was a great movie.
too.
And one of my all-time favorite movies, anyhow, with Marilyn Monroe is Some Like It Hot.
Yeah, it's a great one.
And that's just a great movie.
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so anything else about the movie?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I've seen it a lot, and I'll watch it.
It-
They show
Enjoyable.
They show it a lot on Turner Classic Movies around the
Yeah.
holidays. They kind of lump it in with the holiday movies.
Okay,
that
well,
takes place in
I had
time
that
of
written
year.
down.
Dan, I have to admit,
I had that written down here.
It's easy to catch.
Dan,
I
I
had
have to admit,
that, just a minute, I had that's written down as the final discussion. Is The Apartment a Christmas movie? Discuss. If Die Hard's a Christmas movie,
No, Die Hard's
Die
not a
Hard's
Christmas
not
movie.
a
It's not a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I'll get a war with that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. If Die Hard's a Christmas movie,
Fellas.
No,
it's not.
it's not.
is The Apartment a Christmas movie?
No. Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. The premise is wrong to begin with, right there.
No.
It's redemption.
No.
It is a redemption story.
It is a redemption story for two people
So is
that
Die
find their
Hard.
humanity.
So
And so's Die Hard.
Redemption
No.
story for that marriage.
Isn't that what It's a Wonderful Life is?
It's a redemption story.
Yeah.
You could take Christmas out of It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
Okay, so you say The Apartment's not a Christmas movie? Paul?
Oh, no.
Kate,
I tend to watch it a lot at Christmas.
there you go.
So I'm not gonna say no, but I don't know that I'm 100% yes on that.
Yeah.
But they do show it every Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
Because I think we should talk about
The champagne.
The
Oh,
very
yeah.
last thing, and it takes place on New Year's. The end of it is on New Year's Eve,
And we are drinking champagne.
and she is running to the apartment and hears a shot.
Yeah.
It's kind of appropriate, Sam.
Since I was nearly killed by a champagne cork tonight.
Yeah.
It's kind of weirdly appropriate. And she hears the shot, and it was him opening the cork on the champagne.
Yeah.
Dan,
And then they toast in New Year.
I did
so-
think about Cavalcade
Cheers.
and you during the New Year's scene. Because in Cavalcade, of course, we see
Oh,
the
yeah.
full New Year's.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
But anyway,
Here, here.
cheers.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, it's Christmas in July.
It's Christmas in July. There you go.
There you go.
Sam, final thoughts on the movie or what's coming up this following week?
Jay, we're into the 60s now.
Yeah.
From here on, I've already seen probably 80-90% of the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which up to this point, I've probably only seen
5%.
10% of them or something.
Yeah.
So
Paul?
No final thoughts, but I'm leaving in, several hours to fly to Maine. And,
Oh, you're on your way to Maine.
Yeah, my dad's birthday is Wednesday, so I'll be in Maine for that, but I'll be back for a podcast. I'm flying back Friday night. So, yeah.
Nice.
Even if something goes wrong, knock on wood, still gives me a day to get here, day and a half to get the podcast.
Well, I think this is our last black and white Best Picture winner for 30 years.
Until
right?
the artist.
there's two
No,
more.
until Schindler's
Schindler's
List.
It's Schindler's List, yeah.
List and the artist,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
believe, are the only
Yeah.
two remaining.
So here we go. It's color. It's like
Technicolor.
Wizard of Oz,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We've
That's amazing
landed
that
from the
black and
tornado.
white
Now we're in the
held on
Technicolor.
as long
We're
as
not in
they did.
Kansas anymore.
That's right.
25 years after they
Yeah.
had color, they were still making some movies in black
Yeah.
and white.
And I think this one was very good in black and
Yeah.
white.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he was the right
Hard
decision,
to imagine
yeah.
it in color.
Something
Yeah.
about the city
Yeah.
with all the big buildings,
Yeah.
it just works better.
It helps symbolize a grittiness, I think, that's there that is meaningful
And I
to
think
the location.
the loneliness too,
Yeah.
despite being with so
Oh,
many
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Dan?
Okay.
There we go.
I want to remind our listeners that we will be recording a special filler podcast for when we aren't doing a Best Picture.
Yeah.
Each of our fillers will focus on a decade. We're going to do the 30s, but Wings gets there because it was
We're
only.
gonna just
It would be real easy. What's the best picture of the 20s? Okay, Wings.
What's the best silent Oscar?
Yeah. So we're going to do the 30s separate. We're going to do the 40s separate, and we're going to do the 50s separate. So that will be when we're not able to get together for a full dinner with Dan.
new content.
But there will be new content that will be going up. So we're going to be recording that, I think, on August 6th, which I want to remind all my listeners, all our listeners out there, that is National Root Beer Float Day.
Oh, well, that's what we should have.
Now, we're going to have root beer
Snack.
floats, yes.
Perfect.
So if you want to get your input into that, please text me or anybody else
Yeah.
that's on the podcast, one of the table regulars, what your best picture
Yeah,
of the
best picture
30s,
of
of
the
the 40s, and the 50s.
Yeah.
Give us all three. And if you want to say why, you can do that too, and we will make sure that your voice is heard.
I think too, Dan, if anybody has ideas for more bonus episodes, let us know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to mention to our, this is going to sound like a paid commercial, but it's not. I want to mention to our listeners who subscribe to the Dayton Daily News to read today's article by our two-time podcast guest, Tom Archdeacon.
Big friend of the pod.
A big friend of the pod, he and his wife Kate, about the life of a Daytonian named Phil Robertson, who recently passed away. If you want a truly uplifting story about a life well lived in mentoring at-risk kids, read Tom's article today. Excuse me. And speaking of the Dayton Daily News, which, surprise, I still get in the print version of, other journalists who make the paper worth subscribing to and reading are Meredith Moss, longtime columnist who now writes about the arts and charitable events. Mm-hmm. She wrote an article in 1988 about my late wife Virginia's successful efforts to get the city of Dayton to build a playground for daycare children in downtown Dayton. And then just this year she wrote about how a number of us wore Votes for Women sashes in Virginia's memory during the Schuster Center presentation of SUFs. And I also want to mention that for the fine dining people out there, articles about Ray Marcano. Now,
Yeah, he's been writing
Oh.
quite a thing.
now if you know me about my fine dining, that is my son Eddie door dashing food from either Potbelly or a new place called Culture, which has a great meatloaf, mashed potato, green bean meal.
Yeah,
and it's enough for two
That guy knows what he's doing.
at Culture.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, boy, it's really good. So anyhow, that's my fine dining. But if you read Ray's articles, they are really, really good. And now I'll probably never go to any of them, but it is just fun reading them.
I think his most recent one is from a new Dayton restaurant.
Yeah.
Resonant, right?
Yeah, right. That's in the paper
And
today.
I was lucky enough.
We're going there.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to
Friday.
go.
We're going there soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Is it good?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Everything you hear and better. It is by.
He said
the
it was-
folks that opened it
yeah.
are the folks that own and operate Grist.
Grist,
which,
yeah.
And for my money, is like punching so far above its weight.
Yeah.
And like it's so good. It's like food you get in a much bigger city. And Resonant was like, it was a big city experience. You walk in there and it's, you could be in New York or Chicago or some other big
Yeah.
city in the U.S. getting a really, really amazing meal.
So there you go, Daytonians. You're
Yeah.
getting it from Ray and Kate.
I'm telling
But that's
you.
the place to check
Good
out.
stuff. If you're willing to spend a little, try to get into
Yeah.
Resonant, and if you want to get amazing food on a budget, go to Grist. It's amazing. So
Well, maybe I'll have to give that a try.
it's so good. Handmade pasta, Dan.
Yeah.
You know, I love you all, but I didn't hand make this pasta.
What?
I
Didn't?
know. I wasn't making homemade spaghetti
I'm-
earlier. Spaghetti noodles.
The Welsh side of you came out rather than the Italian side.
I made the sauce and I made the meatballs, but I did not.
Okay, well, that counts.
I did not make fresh pasta, so.
And then finally, my last shout out, as another reason to get the Dayton Daily News, is a column called Forgotten Records Review by a friend of the podcast, Brian Hess. And true story, last week, Brian and I had a 3+ hour phone conversation about movies, music, and life. And just 2 days ago, Friday night, I had a 4-hour, 13-minute phone call with Brian
Holy moly.
that ended in my phone dying on
I
me.
was going to say,
I
knew
blew the
that.
battery.
You blew
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
He
On a
Flip
non,
phones- Flip phones have long
I was
battery
going to
life.
say, on a non-smartphone, that is truly impressive.
for 4 hours, 13 minutes, and we said goodbye, and my phone went, boop. That was it. So anyhow, Brian's got, I think, a master's and a PhD in either music or film, and he knows more about films and music than anybody else. And it's just a matter of time till I get him down here for a podcast, because it's just fascinating talking to him about it. And so anyhow, I give you 4 good reasons why you should subscribe to the Dayton Daily, either the print version, my favorite, or the online. And it's easier to do.
Do the digital.
It's easier to do the crossword puzzle if you have the print version.
But you get a Saturday version if you do the digital.
Well, I get the Saturday version as by having a print thing.
I thought the Saturday.
No, yeah. If you buy print, you get the digital
Yeah.
edition. That's how you get
Oh,
Saturday.
Right,
sure,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Somebody
only
has to
digital.
pull that up for you, though.
But I don't, because I
He
don't.
doesn't pull that up for you?
No, I don't. I don't do print. I don't do that online stuff.
Right.
I want that.
Technically, right, okay.
I want.
Access,
Technically, he has
but
access.
it's not getting
I,
He's using it.
I want that ink on my hands.
I agree.
So anyhow, I've given you 4 more good reasons. Plus, they have a good comic section. And anyhow, so I've given you 4 good people that are in the paper, and then. And even though the Daily News, and I have had my share of difficulties in the past, no, I'm not, because there's still some people that work there that I would like to punch out, and they would like to punch me out.
Agreed.
But after having said that, I want to thank the Cox family of the late Ohio governor and our own James M. Cox for still publishing the paper.
Agreed.
They do it 6 days a week
Very
print,
true.
and Cleveland, which may be a major league city, they don't have a 6 day a week paper. Youngstown doesn't have a paper. So many places have gone without a paper.
True.
So I got to give a shout out to Governor Cox's family. Maybe they're just keeping it alive in his memory, but I'm glad they are.
Enough reason.
So anyhow, after having said that, I'm not paid to say that for the Dayton Daily News,
No,
but
they're definitely not
yeah,
sponsors. Of
but
the pod.
Tom's a friend of the podcast. Brian's a friend of the podcast. Meredith Moss, I've been reading her for years, and I kind of know Ray Marcano from when I used to hang out with Greg Lockhart.
Yeah.
And those guys, they were all kind of wine snobs, and I got to
Wine
know.
buddies.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Ray started as a journalist and then went management. But anyhow, he writes a good article. So anyhow, after having said that, the next movie we will be doing a podcast next week, and it's going to be 1962's West Side Story.
Very exciting.
And
Another musical, Paul's favorite.
my daughter-in-law Carla is going to be our table guest.
Yeah. I
So
love it.
Carla is going to be here,
Nice.
and so we'll be doing West Side Story.
Great.
So with that, I think we've had a great meal tonight. Kate, thank you for letting your Italian side come out. The food was magnificent. Thanks for the champagne and the wine, everybody. And I think this has been a long time since everybody at the table has agreed that it's a damn good movie.
That's true. I think for like the high praise, but you know,
Yeah.
we
Like,
were
wait,
all
Wait, didn't we
We
all
were
like
all-
Bridge on the River Kwai?
we
Yeah.
all liked Bridge on the River Kwai.
You kind of like Ben-Hur.
Yeah, but you weren't here for that.
I still like it a lot.
I
Okay.
know. Sam.
But
Did
Sam,
anyhow-
anyone dislike it? I don't think.
no,
Yeah.
we liked it.
We had good things to say about Ben-Hur.
Yeah, we had good things
Yeah.
to say about Marty. We loved On the Waterfront.
You're looking for
Like,
reasons for us to mutiny.
I mean, I just.
I think
don't-
you're- yeah, I think you're
yeah, you got a
fishing,
mutiny
Dan.
complex.
I'm just sitting here.
We'll plan a mutiny
I'm just sitting
to make
here.
you feel better, Dan.
A mutiny complex.
It is true. You did kind of like start with way back in the 30s with Mutiny on the Bounty. It was like the first disagreement.
Well,
And you've
anyhow.
been seeing Mutiny everywhere you look now.
Morris did that.
You got to run a tight ship,
The
you know.
mutiny was
You-
just
well,
for fun, though.
Can I
Like,
can
that
I
wasn't
argue?
even real. I
Yeah.
liked the movie.
Can I argue that it maybe not so much Mutiny on the Bounty for Dan, but it's the Kane Mutiny. You're starting to. He doesn't. He's not flipping ball bearings around in his hand.
Seen
But he's
things.
starting
You're
to-
saying I've been eating the strawberries?
You've been eating. You ate the strawberries. You stole the strawberries. Is what I'm saying. You're seeing things that aren't there, Dan.
We'll see how the 60s go.
Okay, now we did Hamlet. We haven't done Julius Caesar yet, but I would say at 2, Kate Evans.
Oh, no.
At 2,
Get out of here with that.
Oh no.
I will say one thing. Since you're sitting to my left, at least you did it in my stomach, not my back.
Oh.
I would only ever, never in the back.
Okay.
Oh, stop.
I still liked your meal, even if it was my last meal.
Oh, it was not.
Okay, so anyhow, before this gets goofier, I'm going to end it with Godspeed and fair winds until we meet again.